I'm Arran, and today I am going to be reviewing the cel-shaded Pink Ranger. Now, before I open her up, that sounded wrong, I'm going to tell you about this figure. This figure is done with different colour shadowing to look like it is from the Boom comics, which I don't read. Well, I do read, but very occasionally. Now, I've had this out of the box once to have a quick look at the articulation and weapons and stuff. And then I'll put it back in the box because I wanted to do this review. So, also before I kick in, unless they do a Jason as the Red Ranger or even a Rocky as the Red Ranger and a Tommy as the White Ranger and Green Ranger, I'm not going to get the rest of these. Really, the only reason I got this was to do this review, and also I got it on a deal. They had it on a deal. So I got it on the deal. So really the only reason I got this is to do that review. So yes, I won't be buying any of the others unless they do a White Ranger and a Green Ranger one, and Jason as a Red Ranger or Rocky. And I'd also love it if they did a Gold Ranger version, but I think it'd look weird on the Gold Ranger, to be honest. Anyway, on to the actual figure. I'll show you the box first. So, the box is a lot different to the regular figures. The artwork is done by Tom Wayland. So, on the front of the box you see the artwork of the Pink Ranger in kind of different shade of colours to make it cel-shaded. See on the side it's the same, and on the other side it's the same, but I'm going to turn it round again to read what it says on the side. It says cel-shaded Pink Ranger. So I'll whiz it round to the back. Ouch. So here's the back, which again I love the artwork on the back. It also gives you a warning of the ages of kids that can use it, which is 4+, or they can have it, not that can use it. But it's a Hasbro one, obviously, because Bandai don't own the franchise anymore. So, yeah, there's the box. Now I'll get her out the box to show you. So, I've got the cel-shaded figure out of the box, which could be Kimberly or Cat, depending on your own preference. I imagine because of the comics it's probably Kimberly, but could be either on depending on your own preference. To me, like I say, I don't mind either, because I like Cat and Kimberly. Anyway, I'm going to talk about the accessories first. So, the first accessory I'm going to talk about is the power bow and the arrow. So, the power bow is in this kind of see-through pink purpley plastic, which I understand why they did it, but to me it looks weird. But then that might be because I'm so used to the one that looks like it does on the show. But one thing I will say is on the other figures, the normal figures, the weapons are quite flexible. Whereas on this figure, they're not, so be careful you don't break them. There is one way you could make them flexible, is heat it up a little bit, especially when you're trying to put it in the hand. And yeah, so this is the arrow. Again, looks good, but looks like the normal arrow, but I don't particularly like the colour. And as for the arrow piece, now this is kind of a different story for me, because it's two different shades. It's kind of a bluey clear looking colour and a pinkish purple. Now, I do like the arrow. Or the blast effect. This is the arrow, because it does have an arrow pointy bit. So yes, this I do like, but I will say again, it is quite stiff, so you may want to warm it up if you're trying to do something with it. It is also a little bit sharp on the edges, so be careful. And actually, what I didn't realise is she also has another arrow. God, they packed her of arrows in this figure. Again, which is this clear pinky purple. Now, this is a little bit flexible, but not a lot. So, like I say, if you try and do something with it, warm it up. So, now on to... I'll do the weapons last, actually. I'll go on to the hands. Weapons over. Now, this is a fist type looking hand, and it's kind of got a shade of blue on it, which, well, I'll get into that when I talk about the figure. But yeah, this is a fist hand, and I'm going to say again, be careful of these little stick bits, because if these break, you're screwed, basically. And she has what I term as a karate chop hand, which I think a lot of people term it as that. But I do wish they do kind of a different kind of style version of this. Because having the same one with every figure gets a bit silly, really. They should do a different variation of it. And again, this has a kind of bluey clear colour on it. And she also has the fist hands that are on her at the moment, which again have that bluey tint colour on it. And something I think is really kind of cool is you get three 3 blade blasters with how you get the gun mode version, which you get with all the other figures, the regular ones. You also get the actual blade blaster weapon with it as a blade, which you do also get with the other figures. But this is actually the first time ever we've had 3 different versions of the blade blaster. And we have this one, which is the folded down version that goes in the holster. So yeah, I'll move on to the actual figure now. So this is the Silver Shaded Pink Ranger out of the box, which could be Kimberly or Cat depending on your preference. Now, one thing I'm going to point out straight away is the arms are really skinny. It makes her look really anorexic. Like, they're unnaturally skinny. It's like ridiculously unnaturally skinny. Plus, it also makes the figure really difficult to get out of the box, to the point where you're actually scared you're going to break the figure. And also, I'm not going to talk about the articulation. Reason why is it's the exact same as the other female rangers. There's no difference, so I'm not going to talk about the articulation. So, what I will also mention is, as I said at the start of the review, they've given her a karate chop hand, as I term it. I think a lot of other people term it that as well. I wish they'd done a slightly different style version of that. I'd still maybe give you that hand, but do a different style of it. Because every figure you buy, specifically Mmpr, you get that same style hand, and gets a bit, well, it's boring, basically. Anyway, onto the actual figure. Now, as I said at the beginning of this review, before I crack straight onto her, is unless they do a White Ranger and a Green Ranger version, or even a Zeo Ranger version of Tommy, I'm not going to bother getting any more of these. Or if they did a Red Ranger, Jason or Rocky, I might get it. But other than that, I'm not going to get any more of these, because I got this in a deal. And that's how I ended up with this. So it's supposed to be like it's out of the Boom Comics videos, comics, which is why it's got this kind of blue shading on it to make it look a bit like it's out of the comics. Now, to be honest, this kind of makes no sense to me, doing it like this. Now, they could have just done it really shiny gloss, because that would look also like it's from the comic. But yeah, I don't like the blue on the hands. Or actually, it's all over the figure. So yeah, the helmet looks like the Pink Ranger, and it's actually a new sculpt of the Pink Ranger helmet, which again looks great, looks more like the helmet on the show, apart from the blue bits which are on the back. One thing I did notice, which I thought was kind of cool, they've kind of put the outline on top of the head to make it look as though the helmet opens up like it does on the show. But it doesn't, obviously, because this is only a figure. And it's got different shades of pink on it as well. Right, if I show you the legs, that's a different shade of pink. And it's also got the bluey colour on the boots. And it's kind of got a shading on the skirt as well, on the front and back actually. Which to me, I could get in a lot of trouble for this, but to me it looks as though she's wet herself. It really does. And I apologise for that, Hasbro, but that's really what it looks like to me. You got the bluey colour on the belt there as well, front and back. Now the one thing I will also say is these joints are quite stiff, so be careful and warm the joints up. That's the best thing to do about these figures if the joints are stiff. Warm the figures up till they're flexible. Not flexible to the point where you've almost melted the figure, but flexible enough. And there's another big thing I've noticed, is, and it's not a major thing, it's just something I noticed straight away. They've not painted the inside of the holster. I mean, why would they need to? But it would have looked better if it was like it should be, because then it wouldn't have looked so weird. But and obviously this colour of this figure does not come with the civilian head. You can pop the helmet off to put a civilian head on it, but it doesn't come with one. And another thing I will also mention, because it is quite difficult to get the heads on and off on this figure, so make sure you don't break the ball joints or do what I did and put your shoulder out of joint. So make sure you don't break the ball joints or anything. Now, what I've recently found out is they are redesigning the ball joints. So they are slowly starting to weave the ball joints in, the new ball joints in. But yeah, this is the cell shaded Pink Ranger. But yes, it's an okay figure. Again, I'm not going to buy the whole set. There's only going to be certain ones, if they do any more. And yeah. So it's an okay figure. Not really my cup of tea, but it's it works if there's people that collect the comics or collect every single Ranger they release, then yes, I recommend it, but it's not my cup of tea. But yes, this is a still shaded figure, and just before I end, I have got an absolute ton more figures to review, so keep an eye out for that. I've got loads in here to review that I haven't done yet, and I've got a whole pile of them in my room that I haven't done yet. Plus I also haven't done the 3-0 Mighty Morphin Power Rangers 6-pack set, and the Dragon Shield Red Ranger, or the White Ranger, and yes, the Lord Dragon, which I swore that I wasn't going to get him, but then when I saw a promo pic and then someone else reviewing him, I was like, right, I gotta get him. Plus the fact it's Tommy as well, so yeah, I have to. So yeah, that's goodbye for now. I'm Arran.